Hello, I'm Ruben Collins, President of the Charles County Board of Commissioners. Welcome to the 2020 calendar year annual report video update to our community. This has been a year like no other. In March, the emergence of the COVID-19 global pandemic changed the way we work, provide public education, operate businesses, and spend time together. I am proud of how our government responded to this ongoing public health emergency and continue to deliver services and support our business community. We will report on how we are managing through this crisis to protect the health and safety of everyone in Charles County. The Board of County Commissioners is also approaching the halfway point of its 4-year term. While the pandemic required us to shift our focus, Commissioners remain committed to making progress on 5 goals: economic development, institutional government, environment, public education, and quality of life. Our annual report highlights how we've continued to work on each of these particular areas throughout the year. Let's take a look back at what we've done in 2020.
The first cases of coronavirus were confirmed in Charles County on March 16th. The Emergency Operations Center immediately activated to support the county's response to the pandemic in cooperation with local and state agencies. The team met daily to share information, respond to emerging issues, and provide situation reports to keep everyone informed. They coordinated closely with the Health Department and Charles Regional Medical Center to monitor patient hospitalizations, testing availability, and adequate personal protective equipment. Media Services launched a daily update through its podcast, YouTube channel, and broadcast television station. They also responded to media inquiries and kept the community informed through the county's new website, social media, e-news, and text alerts. As COVID-19 began to spread in the community, county government leaders assembled a team to respond to the emergency internally. All employees who could telecommute began working remotely, and many services were provided online or through drop boxes that accepted payments and planning documents. The Board of County Commissioners began meeting virtually by the end of March as they made emergency policy decisions and moved through the fiscal 2021 budget review process. By the end of May, county leaders prepared to reopen buildings and small businesses prepared to welcome customers back into restaurants, retail stores, and shopping centers. A press conference was held to announce the reopening to the public. The New Normal Task Force within Charles County government prepared for employees to return to work with requirements for daily temperature checks, health screenings, and masks in common areas. Many employees continue to work remotely to protect the health and safety of our community. The Economic Development Department took immediate action to help local businesses through the pandemic. They created a recovery task force to address needs, shared information about resources to support economic recovery, and administered both loan and grant programs to provide relief to many small businesses that remained closed during the early part of the pandemic. At their first ever virtual fall meeting, they brought in leading experts to talk about strategies for economic sustainability as we continue to cope with the impacts of the pandemic. These efforts are vital to the economic recovery here in Charles County. During the early days of the pandemic, public schools were quickly closed, but we did not anticipate it would remain that way for the long term. In just a few short months, Charles County Public Schools launched virtual education for thousands of students to safely provide instruction at home. Our educational team also distributed thousands of meals daily for students, provided counseling and supportive services, and helped students stay connected by providing devices. The College of Southern Maryland also transitioned to a virtual learning environment and will remain that way until at least June 2021. Public amenities and connection to our community has been essential to maintaining the quality of life for our residents during the pandemic. We distributed hundreds of meals to homebound seniors, provided virtual fitness and social opportunities while our recreation and senior centers remained closed, and kept our parks open as many more residents headed outdoors to explore our trails, waterfront, and open spaces. While government offices remained closed, the Housing Authority was able to reopen its Housing Choice Voucher program and process thousands of new applications virtually. 300 vouchers were awarded to low-income, elderly, and disabled residents who were in need of assistance. They also worked closely with nonprofits to identify transitional housing and assistance for many who were directly impacted by the pandemic. Last year, we were thrilled to announce that Mallows Bay was designated as a National Marine Sanctuary. Since then, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has hired the sanctuary superintendent, appointed an advisory council, and selected a national architect firm to design and support facility development there. We look forward to visitors enjoying the environmental treasure for years to come. Despite our challenges dealing with the pandemic, we were still able to move forward on many new projects around the county. The College of Southern Maryland's Velocity Center, located in Indian Head, celebrated its grand opening. The Velocity Center will provide space for students to work with Navy scientists and engineers to blend learning, innovation, and collaboration on high-tech projects. We received a $2.9 million broadband grant to help expand high-speed internet access into rural areas. We signed an agreement for Waldorf Station, a mixed-use redevelopment project of office, retail, and residential space that will be combined with the completion of the Western Parkway. The great news is that we continue making progress while maintaining fiscal discipline that has once again resulted in a AAA bond rating so that the county can continue to make capital investments at the lowest interest rate. That saves money for us and our taxpayers. Every 10 years, the United States conducts a census to count every person in the country. This information is used to determine government representation, designate federal funding for schools, roads, and other infrastructure, and guide planning and land use policy based upon the county's growth. Although the pandemic presented unique challenges to completing the count, it was easier than ever before to respond by phone, mail, or online options. Charles County's comprehensive outreach campaign contributed to a response rate of 75.3%, a leader in the Southern Maryland region. The census is expected to show the ways that our demographics are changing as our community grows. Celebrating this diversity and working towards equity is essential to making sure everyone's voices are heard and respected. A racial equity work group was convened to develop a county statement on our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Employees from every department volunteered to work together to propose a vision for moving the county forward. Charles County government is committed to cultivating a work culture that strives to be welcoming, inclusive, and equitable to all. We are accountable for treating everyone with dignity and respect. We embrace the power of diversity by creating opportunities for everyone to be included, heard, and valued in our community.
Hi, I'm Mark Belton, Charles County Administrator. I hope you enjoyed some highlights and a look back at the annual report on video. I want to conclude this report by stating I am so proud of our employees. They've worked so hard and adapted to the many changes that 2020 has presented during the pandemic. I appreciate their dedication, service, and sacrifice. To read our full annual report, please visit our website at www.charlescountymd.gov. Thank you.